Mike Myers had an incredible run in the 90s with hit franchises like Wayne's World, Austin Powers, and Shrek in 2001. Despite the success, Myers faced setbacks with flops like The Cat in the Hat and The Love Guru, impacting his career. Myers' focus on family, personal struggles, and commitment to unique projects have led to a decline in commercial viability. For 2 decades, Mike Myers had the Midas touch. You couldn't have planned a show business career any better, as Myers rose from the obscurity of Canadian television to being discovered by Saturday Night Live honcho Lorne Michaels in 1989. Myers' SNL characters quickly became some of the most popular on the sketch show, as he respun the Wayne Campbell and Dieter characters, earlier creations from the Canadian series It's Only Rock and Roll, into Wayne's World and Sprockets on SNL. He adapted Wayne's World into a high-grossing movie franchise in 1992, eventually outgrowing SNL and becoming one of the biggest comedy actors of the 90s. Myers wasn't done there, as a movie chock full of esoteric references to earlier films and music, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, somehow became a breakout sensation, creating another $500 million franchise. Then came Shrek, the green-hued ogre whom Myers voiced with his beloved Scottish brogue, which started in 2001 and has since become the second highest-grossing animated franchise of all time. Just when it seemed that Myers couldn't fail, 2 enormous flops, The Cat in the Hat and The Love Guru, brought the funny man back down to earth in the mid-2000s. His career has never completely recovered. A confluence of events led to Mike Myers' career downturn. Unpacking the downturn of one of the 90s most successful careers is complicated. It's not as if Myers went full Marlon Brando and only came out of retirement for an occasional paycheck. Also, it hasn't all been bad since The Cat in the Hat began to damage his career and reputation in 2003. His 2013 documentary Supermensch on talent manager Shep Gordon was a solid and interesting effort, and his occasional cameos in films like Inglourious Bastard and Bohemian Rhapsody always made audiences a little verklempt with nostalgia for his earlier work. Still, there is no mistaking that Myers lost his ability to create highly bankable franchises like he used to. Some have attributed it to Myers focusing more on family after his second marriage to scenic artist Kelly Tisdale in 2010, which bore 3 children for a very private family. Detractors paint a different picture, as former collaborators like Wayne's World director Penelope Spheris and Cat in the Hat co-star Amy Hill have called Myers a diva on set. Wayne's World co-star Dana Carvey even accused Myers of ripping off Carvey's Lorne Michaels impersonation as the basis for the Austin Powers character Dr. Evil. Myers' obsessive craft ruffled many feathers on set. When it comes to Myers' reputation of being difficult, where there's smoke, there is usually fire, but there are 2 sides to the coin. In an interview on Marc Maron's WTF podcast in 2014, Myers finally had an opportunity to defend himself against these allegations. On his very first film, Wayne's World, the studio executives at Paramount Pictures were insistent that Myers use a Guns N' Roses song in the famous Bohemian Rhapsody head-banging sing-along scene. Myers intimated on Maron's pod that he threatened to walk away from the film if they didn't use Bohemian Rhapsody, A Fateful Crossroads. Myers recalled that after the film's success, the song went to number 1 on the Billboard charts again. I don't think any song has ever done that. Myers was making the point that his obsession with quality control and specificity is precisely what made his work great, and often made collaborators angry with him. Similarly, Myers has pointed to the hubbub around So I Married an Axe Murderer souring his relationship with Lorne Michaels when it forced Myers to miss 5 episodes of SNL. When Myers' movie went past its scheduled shooting date, Michaels was furious at Myers, but the 2 Canadian legends repaired their relationship, and Myers did 4 more seasons at SNL. Still, those situations happened when Myers was still at the height of his popularity and bankability. The Love Guru debacle sent Myers reeling into depression. Myers has never minced words about being a highly emotional person. The Love Guru may have been the cruelest turning point of his career because the film was born from a sincere place in his heart. His relationship with spiritual guru Deepak Chopra did much to inspire the movie, but when it bombed critically and financially, it sent Myers into a tailspin of depression and self-doubt from which he's never completely recovered. Speaking on Myers, Chopra said, "Over the years, Mike has dealt with deep existential doldrums in his life, whether it's the loss of his father or his divorce or just the dilemmas we all face, our mortality and so on. Spiritually, he is extremely mature. Still, Hollywood is a what have you done for me lately business, and one that has not treated Myers well the last 20-odd years. Despite once having enormous power and regularly commanding a $20 million paycheck, Myers has become something of a pariah in Hollywood. Even years after The Love Guru flopped, Myers was still being raked over the coals, notably by fellow comic performer Aziz Ansari, who accused Myers of using brownface for the role in a diatribe on his show Master of None. The two comedians are actually friendly, but it's been hard for Myers to outrun such a huge blight on his resume, to say nothing of subsequent accusations about being extremely difficult on set. Myers' focus on family and creativity made him less commercially viable at the end of the day. It is likely the confluence of events around Myers that have slowed his career. His focus on family, unfair tabloid articles about past behavior, and his own commitment to esoteric ideas like his recent Netflix series The Pentaverate, have kept him from restoring his name and popularity to their former glory. Myers is still an avid writer and is always brainstorming potential projects, such as his desire to one day make improvised films like John Cassavetes. His creative output simply hasn't been as commercially friendly as it was in the 90s. Myers is still laughing all the way to the bank, with yet another Shrek sequel set for release in 2026 and residual checks from his hugely popular franchises likely paying for private school for his great-great-great-grandchildren. Speaking on that same podcast with Marc Maron, Myers said, "I have no regrets. Still, until he retires, we'll be hoping for that Midas touch to return just one more time." As an actor whose films have generated over $4 billion in box office gross, a man who has been named an Officer of the Order of Canada, and a person who has never compromised his artistic visions, Myers can undoubtedly sleep easily at night. Shrek 5, starring Mike Myers, is set to release in 2026.